Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Sometimes I am learning about something for weeks, months, probably not years, behind the scenes before I make a video. I've researched it, I've discussed it with people who usually know a lot more about things than I do, and so I like to listen and learn. And then eventually I'll hit that record button, I'll stare into my webcam, and I'll try to give whatever the issue in the video is some kind of context, some kind of nuance, some kind of commentary, you know, the YouTube drill. But sometimes something takes me by surprise so much that I literally have no idea, literally zero idea what is going on. It is no secret to anyone who even casually follows my YouTube channel that relics are kind of okay to me, but nothing amazing. You could take out relics today, and I wouldn't like the game less. Now, what I miss, how sometimes it can get me out of a jam by allowing me to extend my combo from a special 1.5 to a special 2 and end a fight when I probably could lose, especially in Battlegrounds. Yeah, I'd miss that, but I'd probably naturally forget about it because I've played the game much longer without relics than with relics. And yet I know some of you, this is what you love about the game. And just because I think something's overrated or overhyped doesn't mean you have to agree. Remember, this is a YouTube channel, not a YouTube cult. We don't play in Indianapolis either. So, with that being said, I have the luxury, I guess we should have called it, to have opened a 3-star and 4-star Gambit in Relics. Now, I've got Domino, the 6-star Domino, I should say, with the 4-star, and looks like I've got Apocalypse with the 3-star. Now, I did not think at all about the value of Gambit as a relic because, quite frankly, I didn't care. But some of you, apparently, behind the scenes, really examined this well and was very happy, even going down to a 3-star Gambit relic with the performance of that relic. Again, I didn't know about any of this. I was completely clueless, ignorant, whatever you want to call it, behind the scenes. And so this week, as we darken the screen and pull up the response from Kabam Jax about this situation, which you may or may not already know because great YouTubers like KT1 have already covered it. I'm finding out about this literally this week. Kabam Jax said, "Hey Summoners, I'm here to explain a little bit about what happened with the Gambit relic and offer apologies on behalf of the team." Now again, I opened this up for my man Brian Shadow Strike, shout out to Brian as always, and I thought, what is this even about? What? Last week, the game team identified the Gambit relic was not operating as intended. So just a week ago, they hustled to implement a fix as soon as possible, and as a result, ventured outside our regular cadence for providing in-game fixes. So I get, and we're going to get into it in a moment, why they did this. What makes me upset? What brings out a phrase that the loyalists for Kabam are always going to attack me for using, and anytime I say anything about being attacked, by the way, there are always the people in the comments who are like, oh, here's the MCOC martyr, giving everybody the reason to feel sorry for. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I'm a public figure. I deserve to be attacked every day. That's what happens when you make public videos. You draw and often deserve criticism. But how many times, I don't care if you're the most loyal of defenders, aka you are the kind of people on the Mod Squad Kabam forums that seem like you absolutely either work for Kabam or your alt accounts for Kabam, and you're not grounded in anything that's remotely looking like wisdom. How many times have we seen something that benefits for Kabam, a bug? Maybe it's the Nick Fury bug where he's turning into the real Nick Fury immediately at the start of the fight and you lose half his utility. Oftentimes, it's things like frame rate issues, or obviously, especially at the beginning of the issue, we had parry and dex not working, and Kabam was slow to even acknowledge it. And so, sometimes they see it and they say, hey, we are going to fix this. We've seen this with a bunch of arena bugs too. We're going to fix this with the next patch. We're going to fix this next month. And it really sucks when they say in the first week or the second week of the month, wait until next month for it to be fixed, because you know you're going to have 2 to 3 months, or 2 to 3 weeks within that month where it's not going to be fixed. Or sometimes, like I just accidentally said, because I was thinking ahead, it takes 2 to 3 months to fix something. But it's something that's actually making Kabam money because it's an anti-player bug. And so there's also an argument that Kabam can drag their feet a little bit because it's helping them, and actually fixing it hurts them. This is the opposite. When something helps the player base, when something is discovered that gives what Kabam sees as an unfair advantage for the player, they immediately have to rush into sometimes extreme measures to fix it, to protect the integrity of their wallet. Not the game, the wallet. And I get they're a for-profit company. They're not the only company that would do this, but it's a double standard because they're not doing the same thing when they find out that a bug is actually hurting the player and helping them. At least not in the same speed that they fix it. As you've seen, these changes went live in-game before we could provide the appropriate communication. So they changed it without even telling us on the forums, I guess. I would never have noticed this. But some of you, because my inbox was full, definitely did. Typically, our operational pipeline includes first making summoners aware of the issue via our bug board. Bug board sounds like a very bizarre college class. Then changes usually go live with new game builds and information included in the patch notes, because these changes were pushed live mid-build. We understand the change was particularly confusing and jarring for summoners. The situation was exacerbated by having the changes go live on a Friday afternoon, resulting in further delaying these communications. By the way, when changes are live Friday afternoon, in the political sphere, at least of United States politics, they say end of week cycle. Kind of just see if anybody even notices it. They're going to the weekend. Maybe their attention somewhere. Those who frequent the forums and are part of these conversations know we have taken a stance on it. We don't make silent nerfs. As a result of the above events, we unintentionally did not inform summoners prior to making changes, which in a sense is a silent nerf. We apologize for the way that this was handled. Gambit's Relics ability to socket is granting more critical rating than intended. This ability should only bump the crit rating up to the listed amount. Currently, it is granting that amount of top of the player's current crit rating on physical mutant special attack hits. On the Gambit Relics info page, ability 2 is displaying more critical rating than it should. This ability 2 isn't scaling with the Relics rarity. The crit tuning values were intended as follows: 4-star, 800, 5-star, 1600, 6-star, 2400. The Relic has been brought in line with how it was intended to operate. In other words, the 4-star and the 5-star were operating as if they were a 6-star. And yes, that gives players who equip Gambit with even a 4-star rarity a much more damage potential than should have been intended. The fact that this was discovered last week is kind of strange, but more than anything to me, it is just the sense of urgency that was so fast that they went against their normal protocol with these kind of issues. It's a double standard, man. I don't know what to tell you. I get where Kabam is coming from in needing to make right with this. I get the issue. I'm not trying to debate that shouldn't happen, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and I think Kabam Jax knows they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, for lack of a better analogy. I wish I could be more positive with this. Obviously, this is a nightmare for them public relations-wise, because we're just a couple days away from the July 4th weekend sales and a potential for Kabam to ask people to spend more money than they ever have in their lives in this game between the Kabam website store and the in-game store combined. But at the same time, it is what it is. Thanks for watching, YouTube. Have a good one. Personally, I don't like double standards, and I'm not afraid to say it.